Merqury Quaye, large and in charge. Oh man, I want to say a big thank you for the amazing feedback regarding this segment on the cruise control, where we get to learn and of course correct ourselves, and of course always get to discover some of the nicest expressions we could use when it comes to the English language. Now, have you heard or have you yourself at one point in time, or do you still say, although I don't like to listen to radio, but I listen to Hitz FM because of Merqury Quaye? Do you say although and then in the same sentence you say but? I've heard a lot of people do that. So today I want us to look at although and but in a sentence. Do they sit in a sentence together? Well, we'll find out in a bit. Now, if you were to say, although it's a nice car, but it's expensive, it would not make sense. You say, if you were to, although it's a nice car, but it's expensive, that is wrong. Instead, you have to say, it's a nice car, but it's expensive. That is correct. So you don't say, although it's a nice car, but it's expensive. That is wrong. Now, if you want to use although in that sentence, then what you should say is, although it's a nice car, it's expensive. Although despite new car is nice, it's expensive. You don't say, although despite new car is nice, but it's expensive. You don't say that. Think of but and although having the same interchangeable meaning. So when you use although, you don't use but. And if you use but, you don't use although in the same sentence. That's the first thing I want to share with you today. Now, let's move to our second bit, which is reason why. You hear a lot of people say, oh, the reason why IB is not here is no. Since the word reason itself explains the question why, it becomes unnecessary, to put the latter against it. So, example, you say the reason why I couldn't make it was because I had a visitor. The reason why I couldn't come on radio yesterday was because. What you should say is the reason I couldn't make it was because I had a visitor. The reason why I couldn't make it was I had a visitor. The reason I couldn't make it was because I had a visitor, right? So you don't say the reason why I couldn't make it. You don't put reason and why, because reason means why. The reason is there's nothing like the reason why. All right. So don't say reason and say why at the same time. So you have to say the reason I couldn't make it was because I had a visitor. Right. So, we're going to get into the very last but not least one, and it has to do with the verb discuss. I have a song called Discuss. Right now, discuss is never used with the preposition about. I have heard many a time people say, oh, we are discussing about Hitz FM. There's this conversation and they are discussing about. There is never discussion about. There is discussion. We discuss. We know they discuss about. We discuss. So a discussion is a discussion. And what we are discussing is the subject of the discussion. There is no about. So it's wrong to say, let's discuss about the building project. It is correct to say, let's discuss the building project. We discuss it. We don't discuss about it. Right? So that's what I have to share with you today on Words on Hits. Don't say reason why it's not correct. The reason is that is correct. And if you have to say although, never add but. So although I like it. I want to rather stay behind. Yeah, you understand? Don't say, but I want to. Although IB is doing words on hits, he is great on news at one. You don't say, but he is great on news at one. Don't put buts there. That's what I have to share with you today on Words on Hits. I trust you have enjoyed every bit of it and you've learned something. If you have, please make sure you give me feedback via Twitter. Also, this video is going to be posted on Instagram and of course it's on Facebook. Make sure you actually give me some feedback. Let me know if you've learned something today. You probably have been saying it wrongly all of the time, and today you get to learn that you don't say discuss and you say about. You don't discuss about, you actually discuss, and that is it. All right, so I'm back tomorrow with another rollicking edition of the segment. It's called Words on Hits. This is where we learn the right expressions and, of course, the right ways of saying the things we probably have been saying wrongly every step of the way. Big shout out to you, Rhythm Boss. It's good to know